is from Cameroon. He is the initiator and coordinator of the African Network for Solar Energy, an institution that fosters education and research in renewable energy technologies in Africa and beyond. He is honorary professor of organic chemistry at the University of Rwanda since last year, and extraordinary professor at the Department of Chemistry at the Northwest University in South Africa. His work focuses on the design of semiconducting materials for organic solar cells and other energy technologies. Prof,
thank you very much, and I hope I can share my screen.
Yeah, you can share.
Yeah.
There you are.
Yeah, it's there. So I want to start by thanking the organizers for giving me the opportunity to speak here at this seminar. As the moderator said already, I am in various institutions. Presently, I am working at the Energy Institute at the Johannes-Kepler University in Linz. This is a professional project where multi and transdisciplinary knowledge is required in the energy research segment. And this institute has 3 departments: energy economics, energy law, and energy technology. And you can see the different areas of research. And you can see I mark in red smart regions, smart cities. Those are areas of research where artificial intelligence plays a big role. I myself am not involved in working in artificial intelligence, but we can see artificial intelligence plays a big role, not only at this institute, but also now it's through artificial intelligence that we are interacting at this point. And I said the COVID pandemic showed the importance of artificial intelligence or in connecting people, and this is something wonderful. The other point that the moderator said already, I am the founder and coordinator of the African Network for Solar Energy. This is a Pan-African platform promoting collaboration in vocational training, education, research, and entrepreneurship, renewable energy, and water-related issues in Africa. And our aim is to contribute in the realization of the Agenda 2063 and the Africa we want, and also Agenda 2030, the SDGs. So, and I'm very happy that I had the opportunity to work with ACTS, and thank the leaders of ACTS for making me be involved in evaluation of applications, and I could find out is so what I know. So artificial intelligence is something that we cannot do without nowadays. So, and especially as we said, it should be a responsible artificial intelligence, and such responsible artificial intelligence plays a big role in achieving the SDG worldwide, especially in Africa. And we can see what through artificial intelligence, what Africa did already when we take the case of Kenya, where mobile monies came into play, and which is now also gaining not only in Africa, gaining ground, not only in Africa, but also in Europe. Some European countries were at the beginning reluctant to accept something coming from Africa, but more and more they are adapting to this technology coming from Africa, which is based on artificial intelligence. And if we want to go back to what the president of the African Development Bank said in 2018, which is very important for us to for the future of Africa. He was during the 53rd annual meeting of the Board of Governors in Busan, South Korea in May 2018, Dr. Akinwumi Adesina, President of African Development Bank, mentioned this. Africa must prepare its people for the job of the future, not those of the past. Africa must accelerate higher education and vocational and technical training in building the skills of the future. In particular, greater emphasis should be placed on digitalization, mathematics, material science, biotechnology, engineering, artificial intelligence, robotics, and quantum computing. This area will dominate the industrial revolution in the near future, and Africa must not be behind. Yeah, we can see what he was saying, and this is very important. We need, let me take one important point when it comes to artificial intelligence. We need to train our kids, I can say even starting from kindergarten, on mathematics, make them the joy of learning math, because these are the basis for one to be embarked in artificial intelligence or research in artificial intelligence or innovation in artificial intelligence. So it is a very important aspect. Mathematics in schools, yeah, make it nice and it should be fun for children to learn mathematics, not only boys, but girls also. So we should not find a case where we say only when it comes to science or mathematics, those are for boys. But I will give you an example. In Tunisia, I have the opportunity as the coordinator of ANSOLE to travel to many African countries. This conception that women are not good for science is wrong. When you go to Tunisia, I can say 90% of the students of physics and maths at the University of Tunis are ladies. So whereas in other parts of Africa is not the case, but it means it is the way these subjects are taught to the students. So it makes so that there's no gender, there should not be a gender divide. It's just the interest. So mathematics is very important, and we see for Africa should not be behind when it comes to the jobs of the future, and we have to prepare our people for that. Dr. Adenisi also gave 5 priority themes on which should be where the African Development Bank should invest in. First of all, light up and power Africa, feed food security, industrialize Africa, integrate Africa, and improve the quality of life for the people of Africa. And all these areas need the support of artificial intelligence to move faster. And as I said, I was blessed. I'm very happy that I'm an evaluator of the ACTS scholarship program, where we see a lot of things going on, where students are bringing up ideas using artificial intelligence to solve the societal problem in Africa. But what we can also read on this slide is that the continent needs to be strong in research and development. And this is a significant challenge. According to UNESCO, regional average of GDP share committed to research and development are 2.1 for East Asia, and the Pacific 2.4 for North America and Western Europe, and a vanishing 0.5 for Sub-Saharan Africa. And I want to say maybe these values, those are values of around 2018, but it might have increased now maybe by 0.5%, but it's still very minimal and insignificant as compared to other parts of the world. So this graph gives you, the countries leading, or a comparison of GDP, of allocation of GDP in research and development worldwide. The leading country is Israel, and that's why a lot of innovation is coming in from Israel, then Korea, and so on. The first African country here is South Africa with 0.8%. We know that the African head of state some years ago pledged 1% of the GDP to be allocated in education, research, and development, but that's has not been done so far. And if we want to look in the global arena, why is China today a superpower, a leading power in all aspects? And one has to follow the evolution of China. 30 years ago, the Chinese government decided to put a lot of money in research and development. Chinese students are brought to acquire knowledge and come back. By up to 1996, China was not among the top 10 or top 20. But by 1996, China came in and is now dominating the world. Why? Because they put in money for research and development. And yeah. So the situation in Africa is that we depend strongly on external funding to carry out research, and this is a big problem. We are not against. I'm very happy that SIDA and many other organizations, those who are supporting ACTS, are here to support the use of wonderful. You should research to allow African researchers do what they think is necessary for the African continent. But other funders that I know from Europe, they dictate what you have to on which topic you have to research on. This strong external dependence is not good for the development of Africa. We have this chart shows you the country which depend very strongly, like Mozambique. Almost more than 70% of its of funding for research and development comes from abroad, and you have the list here. I don't want to go into details. So the quest for scientific independence is necessary so that we can develop. We can decide on what to research on. The Africans should decide on what to research on, seeing the problem that they have, and if they are the one funding, if our government are the one funding our research and development, we can really decide on the problems to tackle. So, and this is this chart shows you a self-perceived challenges to careers of young researchers in Africa. So the number one is lack of research funding. So many researchers are facing this problem. And if you go to many African countries, and I'll take the case of Cameroon, where actually no policy for research. You don't have any institution offering tertiary funding for researchers. So everything is chaotic, and people have to beg or look for external funding to carry out research. Although we have good brains in Africa, a lot of migrants are studying and carrying out high quality research. More than 50% of the output in French universities come from people from developing countries, and the majority are from sub-Saharan Africa. French-speaking sub-Saharan Africa are not Africa. So those brains could contribute highly in scientific output, innovation in Africa, if our governments, why can just have to carry out research in Africa is a big issue. I don't want to go to the list. I hope that those who are following will have the opportunity to get the slides. Yeah. So what do I propose to remedy the problem in higher education? I start by speaking about things that I've experienced myself while traveling African university, or when I was also, because I studied in Cameroon up to my bachelor, my BSc in chemistry and physics. So we need a conducive study and research environment in African universities and institution of higher learning. And one aspect, and I'm going to come back to it, availability of permanent and environment-friendly electrical energy. How can you carry out research in Africa, or how can we carry out research in AI if I'm working on a computer, I'm trying to solve societal problem, whatever of which kind, then the electricity goes off. A situation that we find in many African countries. And how can you carry, I say as a chemist, I'm a chemist, how can I carry out a chemical reaction if I'm not sure that in the next 2-3 of the next 24 hours, my reaction would not be stopped because of lack of electricity, or because the power went off. So those are issues which are really hampering research and development in Africa and innovation, whether it's in artificial intelligence and other areas. So also the issue of permanent clean and functional sanitation and clean environment. And I was lucky to be evaluator for the World Bank and other international institutions when it comes to selection of African Center of Excellence and many other type of high-level institutions for which receive international students within Africa. And what we found in many sub-Saharan Africa universities was this problem of sanitation. And I think I want to emphasize it. And sometimes maybe when we are talking about innovation, we want to talk about big things, but these small things which contribute to advance innovation, or to advance research and development, to advance development in Africa should be taken into consideration and be taken serious. If for a lady, that was a case that I got in one country, I don't want to be naming the names here, where I had to interview female students in the course of our evaluation process. And most of us were telling me that, okay, during their menstrual cycle, they have to stay home because there's no good sanitation for them. And I had to visit sometimes some toilets. It was horrible, and you cannot feel at ease. So such basic things should be put available. We don't need much funding. It's just a mentality issue. And this is something which should be taken into consideration. And then other aspect which I've listed here: health and safety regulation, taking serious, permanent maintenance and repair entities, and permanent easy accessibility of high speed internet. And these are things which we need in Africa. And I think that the African government can, with even the little money that they have, can take care of this aspect, that our higher education institution should be a place where you feel at ease to carry out research, where you feel at ease, to do things, and where you can be innovative, where one could not spend a lot of energy to think, how should I ease myself? Am I sure that I'm having electricity in the next hour to carry out my research, to run my program? Do I have permanent internet and so on? And I also talk about this strong independent country-based and Africa-based research funding mechanism that we need to put in place, especially that at least the 1%, the pledged 1% should be really allocated. But we also need, in addition, external funding. I'm not against external funding, but the Africans should take things in their hand. This awareness, which is even lacking in many sub-Saharan African countries. In the case of, let me say, West African countries, where I come from, Central West, where there is no awareness or of putting funding for young researchers to carry out research is appalling, and things should change. Then I talk about adopting the fourth industrial revolution in all higher education processes. I said knowledge acquisition is not limited to a lecture room. The World Wide Web, the digital world, is a classroom of the future. The lecturer or the supervisor takes the role of a mentor. He or she is ready and not ashamed to learn from the student. I think if we have access to high-speed internet, everything is found online. To say the truth, everything is found online. All the lectures are found online. We cannot reinvent the wheel. So the World Wide Web is the classroom of the future, or is the classroom of the present. So lecturers should the old guard of lecturers and professors should be ready to readapt to the situation. The student might have new knowledge than them. And I, as an older professor or lecturer, I should act as a mentor. I should not be ashamed to learn from my student because he has got the knowledge from the internet, from artificial intelligence, with the help of artificial intelligence. And I know a lady in Rwanda who tells me before she prepares her lesson, she goes on the internet and get new ideas, see new teaching method of the topic, and so she herself as a lecturer learns before giving the knowledge further. So I speak also about strong regional, continental, and international scientific cooperation. Yeah, and internationalization of the higher education system by incorporation of international African scientists. What I mean is, like myself now being, for instance, an honorary professor in Rwanda or extraordinary professor in South Africa, is why can I do such things? Because of through this method that we have, Zoom and so on, which is based from artificial intelligence. And I believe we have brains, African brains, which are all over the world, who can contribute, even from Canada, USA, Europe, in providing knowledge, also in the field of artificial intelligence to our young African researchers and students. So we have to use all this possibility, but for us to use all those things, we need, as I said, good access to internet and also permanent electrical energy, which is very important. So as I was saying, my last point here is, I said, always think of the SDGs in all our action, in every action. So the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals I can say it's goals that everyone want to achieve, or the different countries have pledged to achieve by 2030, and Africa has to play a big role in this. And also, apart from the Sustainable Development Goals, we have the Agenda 2063, the Africa we want. We are with some a series of aspirations, 7 aspirations, which are listed here. One aspiration, number 1, a prosperous Africa based on inclusive growth and sustainable development. But here I'm just saying, I'm writing, without sufficient electrical energy, there is no prosperity. Electricity is the, it's the oxygen for development. And we know most of our African countries are lagging behind, are not developing because of lack of electrical energy. Electricity is very important. I've already mentioned you in the problem that I, as a chemist, will have in Africa if there's no permanent electricity, or somebody working in artificial intelligence running a program, if electricity goes off, what will happen? And this is a problem in many African countries. So we need permanent electricity to achieve the goals. If not, this aspiration will remain just aspiration forever. So when it comes to the access to electricity, we can see that some countries, African countries, which are well we have more than 99% access to electricity, especially the North African country and Southern Africa, but the rest of the country are below 70%. And you have countries with just 9% access, or even a big country like Congo having the potential through the possibility of building a dam there, just has 9%. Okay, so you can see that many African countries, South Sudan, just around 1%. How can we really carry out research or AI research in such an environment? And this is an issue which should be addressed. And also, how can we fulfill these 5 priorities that President Adenisi of the African Development Bank suggested? Okay, and at least the first suggestion is light up and power Africa. And so if we have to light up Africa, we need electrical energy. This is very important, and electrical energy will is needed for also for food security. It's needed for the industrialization, for the integration, and the improvement of quality of life when it comes to health and education and so on. Electricity is very, very important, and that's why I'm happy that our network is trying to promote the use of promoting research in renewable energy in Africa. So here, this chart just gives you an overview of the 20 countries which are asset deficit, so-called asset deficit country of electricity. And the first at the top is Nigeria. When it comes to the number of people without access to electricity, you have 92 million of Nigerians do not have access to electricity, and most of the countries who are listed here are African countries. So it's a big problem. If you want to develop, talking about sustainable development of Africa, if we want to develop Africa, we need to increase this access to electricity. And you can see this last part, the chart with the blue color. You see the annual increase in access, which is in most countries minimal. So we have to do more in providing electrical energy for in African countries. So before ending, I just make once more this statement here: the prerequisites for sustainable development in Africa, due to its less advanced level of technological development and its abundant renewable energy resources, Africa has the potential and flexibility to play a leading role in the energy transition, thus in achieving the SDGs. But we have to fulfill these are the prerequisites. I said real independence, political stability and security in the continent. External influences should be minimized. We can talk. Okay, most of us, we try to blend out the fact that there are geopolitics. And if I'm coming from a country where one European country, I want to be, has very strong influence in the political system, in the economy, and so that we are almost like we are tied, our hands are tied. Some of countries which were under that specific colonial power do not have the strength to develop effectively. I will say it, they can even kill me if they don't want. France, the French-speaking African countries are among the last when it comes to development in Africa because of the colonial past and the condition of what those that ex-colonial master is still, the influence that he still has on the countries. So we need real independence in some African countries and political stability and security in the continent. And I would like you, for those who are very curious, who want to know more about what the geopolitics and the influence of the external influence in Africa, please go to YouTube. It is given here. Professor Howard Nicholas is based in England, why the West want Africa to stay poor. It's very interesting to read. because we have to know all these things before talking about development, and we have to address this issue at this level among us intellectuals, and also at the level of African Union, and also at the bilateral or international or UN level, because Africa should really have its independence. We know geopolitics will continue to play a role, but we need some sort of air. We need to breathe and have some space so that we can advance our continent. As I said already, the pledge or the of 1% is very important. The 1% of GDP in research and development, if not the aspiration of Agenda 2063, will remain forever aspiration. They will never be concretized. So we need to really put in funding in research and development. We had a conference last year in Yaoundé, and one guy from I think from Norway, was also a hybrid conference presence and online. He made this statement that Africans should start trusting themselves and be ready to do mistakes. How can we understand this? In Cameroon, the country I come from, we train engineers. We train all types of engineers engineers for road construction, for buildings, and so on. But when it comes to big project, we don't trust our engineers. We look for Chinese or French or whoever. We don't trust our engineers. I said we should learn to do mistakes by allowing these engineers that we've trained to do mistakes. They will learn from their mistakes. And I believe Chinese products are now over the world. At the beginning, they were not so wonderful, but nowadays, through doing or learning by doing, they are high quality products worldwide from China. So Africans should trust themselves. Our trained engineers should have the opportunity to carry out big projects. This is something which we lack. I try to explain it in other talks. Due to let me say, we Africans, we hate ourselves, we are racist against ourselves due to the educational content that we receive, the Eurocentric educational content, which portray us as low, and then the white man as the greatest, the norm, and so on. It plays in our psychology, and so we don't trust ourselves. But we need to start trusting ourselves. We need to start doing mistakes and learn from our mistake so that we can develop our continent. If not, we will be always looking like small children. Please, you come and help us. That should not be the case in the next 50 years since 2018 when we talk about the Africa we want, the Agenda 2063. So these are necessary steps to foster regionalism, thus to contribute in mitigating the climate crisis and to foster development. So through the pandemic, we saw the necessity, and also now through the Ukraine war, we need regionalism. We are not against globalism, but regionalism should be fostered. The African continent should, the African region should be autark, means independent when it comes to food security and so on. And we need to have the skills on the spot. We need to have the skills and trust the skills that they can contribute in the development of the continent, not only expecting skills from abroad. Why are we training AI skills in Africa? If there's a project, let the trained African skill have the opportunity to carry out the project than calling somebody from abroad. If not, we will remain babies forever, which is not what I hope. And I want just to end up by showing the last slide, which is talking about, okay, it's ANSOLE. We go back, about our network, and giving you just a brief history, and we're now 11 years old, and we in the past we offer scholarships. And why am I showing this slide is also to talk about possibility of carrying out research by complementary, let me say collaboration. What we've been thinking within the network, is to create an online matchmaking platform. Such an online making platform, we don't have funding for that, but I believe not every African country or university has the possibility to be well equipped. But if we have a platform where students, researchers of one country know what is happening in another country, or one university knows that, a researcher of University 1 knows that in University B, I have this possibility of doing this experiment because there are facilities there. This will save a lot of money, and this will enhance collaboration within Africa. So we, due to the fact that we might not have the possibility to allocate 2% or 3% of our GDP for research and development, so that each university, like here in Germany, if I, as a chemist, almost each institute has an NMR machine, but a whole country like Cameroon doesn't have an NMR machine for molecular structure characterization of chemical products. So, but a university here can have 4 or 5 of such spectroscopic instrumentation. So if we can collaborate, we know that through such a platform, I can go to Kenya from Uganda to carry my experiment, and this will help a lot for us to do high quality research with less funding. And for that, we need such platform, not only for artificial intelligence, but also for chemistry, for physics, and so on, material science. So Africans should start collaborating. What I've noticed, this network taught me something, that sometimes we Africans, instead of coming together, somebody has an idea. Like myself, I was a founder of this network. Then my African brothers started combating me. Cook, and it was a tough time. Now we are 11 years old, but I want to bring these issues. If we want to develop in Africa, let's be ready to collaborate. Let's stop being jealous. Why should you be the one doing that? Why not I? We should start collaborating. We should start supporting those who have ideas and support the idea and bring our input. Don't say, why should Mr. Egbe has brought this thing, so I'll do everything to destroy what he has done. Like our scholarship program. The scholarship program was financed, but some